views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily the views of ECTV News, the City of East Chicago, nor this broadcast station or website. ECTV airs public meetings as a service to the community it serves. Speakers at public meetings, broadcast, or posted by ECTV News are solely responsible for their comments. ECTV News reserves the right to edit or remove any profanity or abusive language or behavior deemed inappropriate for our viewing audience. If you have any comments or suggestions about this program, contact ECTV News at 219-391-8206.
Call to order the regular scheduled council meeting for Monday, February 10th, 2014. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Present.
Battle. Vasquez.
Present.
Cuevas.
Present.
Orange. Maldonado. Arnold.
Present.
Parks. Franciski.
Present. Madam Clerk, for the record, Councilman Battle, Councilwoman Orange, and Councilman Parks did call. They do have other business this evening, so they will not attend the meeting. I have a motion to accept the minutes for a regular scheduled meeting for Monday, January 27th, 2014.
So moved. Second, Mr. President.
Motion was made by Councilman Cuevas, seconded by Councilman Santos. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Santos.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Cuevas.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Franciski.
Yes. Do we have any communications from the mayor?
No communication.
Any communications from department heads?
Yes. Accounts payable warrant report 021014 CC.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Cuevas, seconded by Councilwoman Vasquez, to accept accounts payable warrant report 021014 CC. Do I have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Cuevas.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Franciski.
Yes.
Payroll warrant 013114.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Arnold, seconded by Councilman Cuevas, to accept payroll warrant 013114. Do I have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Santos.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Cuevas.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Franciski.
Yes.
Payroll warrant 013114.
So moved, Mr. President. Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Santos, seconded by Councilman Cuevas, to accept payroll warrant 013114. Do I have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Cuevas.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Franciski.
Yes. Do I have any committee reports? Board reports will be read at the next meeting. Madam Clerk, do we have any ordinances on first reading?
Yes, ordinance 14-0001, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland, appropriation ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Cuevas, was that on first or second reading?
Yes, first and second, I'm sorry.
Motion was made by Councilman Cuevas, seconded by Councilwoman Vasquez, to hear ordinance 14-0001 on second reading. Do we have any discussion on the motion? Councilman Santos?
I see the city engineer and our city controller. I know he's going to say interim, but he's our city controller, so that's what we'll call him. You want to give us a small detail on, my question basically is what streets? I see that it says resurfacing, but what streets?
This is for the Bering Street.
Excuse me, your name and title for the record, please.
Valeriano Gomez, City Controller. This is for the Bering Street project. It involves replacing the curbs, sidewalks, sanitary sewers, main, water main, and storm sewer, the inlets, and everything involved in the street. This is basically a transfer from our state grants line item fund, 00243, into the street reconstruction engineering line item. This is part of a grant, federal grant that IDOT is administering. INDOT is administering. It's an 80-20. The city pays 20%. Because it's on a reimbursement purposes, we basically have to pay it, and then they reimburse us for it. And Jesse's here if you have any, city engineer's here if you have any questions about the project itself.
Mr. President?
Councilman Santos?
Jesse, are we going to do the street, curb, everything on top, am I right?
Yes.
Has your department looked into ornamental street lighting? Because I know that we've moved forward, we've done some streets already, and it seems like we haven't done the ornamental street lighting. And you know that when they did that, I got hundreds of calls from people that really love that. And I'm just wondering, is there money in this budget for this ornamental street lighting?
It was.
It was?
It was part, the lining, it was part of the project. However, it was eliminated. The mayor had some concern about maintenance, about all the maintenance that required the expenses of this lighting, so it was eliminated for this particular project. That was the only thing that was eliminated.
So are we not going to move forward with any ornamental street lightings? Is that basically what you're saying, is that the mayor has concerns in regards to funding to maintain those lights, so we're not going to do any more in the city?
This particular project does not include lighting. Include the rest, pavement, sidewalk, curbs, new sewer, new water main, full reconstruction except lighting.
Now, was there a discussion already with the mayor in regards to this, or, because I'm going to sit down, I'm going to ask to have a meeting with the mayor and Val, maybe, because, a lot of people like it, and, it definitely brightens the community. I'm a goon when you go down those two blocks that have them. I mean, you could tell the difference from coming in from this side and then hitting their blocks. You really can,
Yeah, I wasn't part of the discussion about the ornamental lights, so I wasn't aware. I know there was issues with some of the ones that were put in about getting replacement parts for them. So, but I don't know about this particular case, And I don't know if they looked into getting a different type of ornamental lighting that you can find parts for. I think that was the issue before. So it might be good to have a discussion and see. They do have to replace the lights, right? They're going to,
redo those streets.
The same,
the same type of
the
light.
same NAPSCO light, but we can't include lighting. It's going to require design and additional costs to the project. But this is just for construction inspection. This is not for this money that we're asking here is not. It's not going to cover any construction. Just the inspection of the project.
The engineering.
Engineering, construction engineering. So this is to cover the expense of oversee the construction.
So at what point, where are we getting the funding to actually redo the street then?
I think we already have, we do have the money already for construction.
Okay, so you're going to tear the street up from,
Yes.
and my point is that if we're going to go that far in replacing curb sidewalks and go down and do sewer, since we're going to have that all open, that now would be the perfect time to start discussing the lighting if we're going to move forward with ornamental street lightings, because we're going to have that stuff already ripped up.
Yeah.
And, I'm understanding it's going to cost a little more, but, to decide in the future that we're going to do it, we're going to have to rip all, the sod back up and all that other stuff when we move forward, if we decide to do that.
If we're
But-
going to do it, we'll have to decide now.
Yeah, and-
Now it's the
all right.
perfect time to,
So I will make sure I have a
Make
meeting with the mayor in the next couple of days here, or call him. Thank you.
Councilwoman Vasquez?
And just FYI, Councilman Santos, the problems that we're having in Guadalupe Circle with that ornamental lighting, with them, the light's not staying on, they don't have a long duration of time, they, keep going out, and every time they go out, don't we hire a contractor to come in and change the light bulbs and
Yes.
do all that?
Yes.
And then just recently, is it true, like, if one of the lights goes out with those ornamental lights, it's not just that a whole string of them goes out and they have to come in, and there were some issues with wiring? I mean, it was a big problem. It's not like if one light goes out, you go out there and change it. It's like,
Yeah, sometimes it's just you have to replace the bulb, sometimes wiring, sometimes the photo cell. There's so many things that cause, a light, light goes out. I get calls, I basically send those complaints to in this case, we have two contractors, local contractors that take care of that. And every time, it's something different. And I know that particular area was kind of
Had
like a
a lot of
special
problems.
case.
they look nice.
Yeah, but I
They were
do know,
brighter.
since they put them in there, you have new LED lights, that you don't have to worry about bulbs, they last. So there's other things we can look at, but I know we had problems, like on Columbus Drive, those went out, and we had a hard time replacing those, so.
What about our new bridge?
New Bridge, I don't think we've had any problems on the New Bridge yet, have we?
And
Lights been out.
Oh, no, we did have some lights.
5 out.
Yeah, we did. Right, so
yeah,
there's an
and
issue,
It's 2 years old bridge, and I think last year, around maybe October, November, I had to report maybe 4 or 5 of those.
Yeah.
Councilman Cuevas?
You know what, that issue of those maintenance and those light bulbs for these ornamental light fixtures that we're using for the streets has been brought up in the past in reference to their cost and maintenance. Did you guys ever give us an exact on what they cost per bulb and to install it? To kind of give us a gauge of how expensive this can really get to have these lamps put on, these light poles per se? You know what I mean? It's always, we brought that up before. Do you have anything like that, how much that costs per pole,
For bulbs?
per bulb or pole or whatever?
Bulb. I will have to check. I can't remember. I don't.
We've talked about it, but I don't know if anybody ever asked for what it costs for per bulb and the installation thereof it, That's something I would like to know, to see if it's, because if you're bringing it up that it's been an issue as far as the maintenance and the cost to maintain them, maybe it is too costly to have it, even though it would be nicer to have in the city, but we got to look at
Yeah, I can.
monies and
I can
budgets
send- I
in
can
reference
send
to
you
that cost.
information. I'll have to check my records and. I can-
I'd appreciate that, yeah, if you can do that for us and for Councilman Santos, then kind of get an idea of how expensive this can get to maintain. Yeah.
Any other questions? Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, roll call to adopt ordinance 14-0001 on second reading.
Santos,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Cuevas,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Franciski.
Yes. Madam Clerk, do we have any ordinances on second reading?
No,
Any ordinances on third reading?
no,
Do we have any resolutions?
no resolutions.
Moving on, do we have any old business? Councilman Santos?
Mr. President, 2 items under old business. One, Walsh Avenue, the train, I know me and Mr. Bauer, we even put an ordinance together, sitting idle there. So Madam Clerk, if we can send a letter to the police chief in regards to just letting the officers know on patrol. I know that the residents have been calling the police, and I'm not sure how many tickets we've gotten. Maybe that's a question I'll sit down and ask the chief, but if he can remind his officers to please keep giving those trains that are sitting idle there in that community a ticket, because I've been getting a lot of complaints, and it seems like the wind's been coming a lot from the south, pushing north, and it hits the house directly. And if they move the train just a little further down by the football field, we wouldn't have the issue, but they constantly park that train right there where the residents are at, and and that diesel fuel, I went out there. It's bad. I mean, if you're coming out your house and you get hit right in the face with, that diesel fuel smell, it burns your eyes. So, I just send a letter, and I'll sit down with Mr. Bauer, our attorney, and see if we can move forward and see if there's something we can do. I know that they said speak to our congressman, and I'll be doing that too. Also, Mr. President, also in that letter with the chief, asking what the police department, what are their plans on doing with vehicles that are sitting on the blocks that haven't been moved. I know, as you know, that we had all this snow. You can tell the cars that haven't been moved since our first snowstorm, because it just looks like one big pile of snow. And if you dig a little bit, you'll see a car under there. And that means that car hasn't been running probably within the last 2 to 3 weeks. Is there a plan in regards to putting windows stickers on them? I know I spoke to the street department and the folks over there in the public works department, and they're kind of clueless. They don't have an idea of what the chief's doing, and maybe he can give us an idea on what he plans on doing in the next week to get these cars moved, because it makes it a lot easier for the guys driving plow trucks, because right now it's just an obstacle course when you're going down these small streets and you got cars that haven't moved. So if you can include that in the letter, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Vasquez?
Yes. I have two things, Mr. President. Number one, I just want to remind the public, the deadline to submit your letter and your resume for the board appointments is this Friday, February 14th. And please, if you're submitting a letter, please make sure that you put in your letter which board you are applying for. And again, the deadline's this Friday, February 14th. The other thing, Mr. President, is that the Tax Abatement Committee met with BP, and I'd like, at this time, it is the pleasure of the Tax Abatement Committee to approve the 2013 SB1 form that was submitted by BP. So I'd like to make a motion at this time to accept it and for signature of Council President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Vasquez, seconded by Councilman Cuevas. To sign SB-1 form for BP 2013. Have any questions? Councilman Santos?
Councilwoman Vasquez, if you could just give us a small update on that meeting, because I know I came in at the end. This was something that was already forward, am I right, moving forward with it? We just need signatures. Can you just, so that,
It was already submitted, we just
Yeah.
need the Council President's signature.
okay.
But if you want more information, I'll ask Mr. Bauer to explain the...
Yeah, I just want the audience that's viewing this, don't think that we're doing something that, it's already been there, so yeah.
Yes, the Stephen Bauer, council attorney. The Tax Abatement Committee met 2 times and discussed at length on the 2013. We're also looking at the 2014 that's coming up, which is an entirely different issue. Our financial advisor, as well as the mayor's financial advisor, has looked at length at the 2013. We have a wide variety of confirmation documents from the county and the state. Everyone says that this part is in order, and so it's appropriate, and we should authorize the president to sign the SB1 for the 2013. Later on, we will have issues concerning tax abatement coming up next year. And in fact, some of the documents that I passed out, the packets I passed out for you tonight, addresses that. But the 2013 is no problem.
Thank you, Mr. Bauer.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos?
Yes.
Vasquez?
Yes.
Cuevas?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
Franciski?
Yes. Moving on to public expression. If you could please keep your comments to 3 minutes. We'll start with Mr. Clemmy Jones.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Concerning this ordinance about appropriation, the new streets that they're supposed to be building and repaving. I sure hope that it don't be like the last ones down on Guthrie Street. The reason I say that is we have an ordinance on the books that says so many of the jobs are supposed to go to East Chicago residents. When they did Guthrie over there, I saw 2 Latinos and I saw 2 blacks. That was laborers. I didn't see no truck drivers, black or Latino, and I didn't see no machine operators, black or Latino. They had 4 laborers. That was of a minority. Why are we keep paying for other communities to benefit with our tax dollars? I'm not a rental. I own property. I pay taxes here and in Gary. I own property in Gary. But I live in East Chicago. But I bought a house because the guy got tired of it and he just wanted to get rid of it. A friend of mine, he lives in Virginia. So he asked me, did I want the house? I said, no, I got a house already. He says, I just want to get rid of it. So I ended up buying it, and I ended up renting it out to a cousin, and then she lost her job. So now the house is paid for, so she's just staying in it because I don't want it to get vandalized. You got to pay me no rent. I'd paid for the house already. I don't ask for nothing. But I'd like to see our citizens benefit from the ordinance that we have on the books in this town. It don't make sense for you to do all this building
1 minute, sir.
and none of us get any jobs. All these truck driver jobs, all these operators jobs, it doesn't take much to do that training. But for some reason, the mayor hasn't seen fit to go out and look and see what's going on. Also, the snow. He got people working 12 hours a day. Why don't you split them up in half and then make them work 10 hours a day? It ain't rocket science. It snows 24/7. It don't snow just from 6 in the morning to 6 at night. And then when they come down the street, like I got a big snowblower, I clean out the parking area. They'll come down the street and plow it right back in. I don't even throw it out in the street, I throw it up on the curb. You got 2 trucks coming down the street. Why can't one of them back up and clean that area where he done plowed the snow in there? They don't do that. And if I get to be mayor, the first people I'm gonna fire is the assistant and the guy who's in charge of
Thank you, sir.
snow blowing.
Nice. Next, we have Jessica Flores.
Good evening, council. How are you? Everyone here? Good evening. My name is Rosemary Quinones. This is Jessica Flores. We're part of a group called Leaders at Work. We're a group of individuals that are IUN students, police officers, East Chicago residents, and local community, hold on, I'm nervous. Local community leaders that want to be able to give back into the community, which we're focusing on East Chicago. So we're appealing to the council as well as the community to possibly reestablish the junior police program that was active during 1967 to 1970. It was a beautiful program that was a great collaboration between the city police department, school board administration, as well as the city. And we would like to see that excitement in East Chicago. So we're looking to bring a citywide youth outreach program, possibly collaborate with other programs that are already here in East Chicago to kind of build the gap between, build the gap, I'm sorry.
Bridge the gap.
I'm so nervous.
Bridge the gap.
To bridge the gap between, what is lacking. I'm not trying to say that what we have is really poor, What I'm trying to say is we can do better. Our youth are awesome, and they're amazing, and they're destined for greatness. But we need to be able to step up to the plate as leaders and pour into them what they can become. And I think that by us leaders at work being able to collaborate with the existing programs that are already here, as well as the residents and families, that we'll be able to give East Chicago's youth what they really need to be able to become successful young, great leaders of the world. So we're looking for anyone that has participated in the junior police program and appealing to anyone who can be of assistance to us. And they can contact us via email at leadersatwork@hotmail. And that's leadersatwork@hotmail.com. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
That's it for public expression. Have a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved. Second?
Motion was made by Councilman Santos, seconded by Councilman Cuevas. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Cuevas.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Franciski.
Yes, good night.